Hi, today I'm trying out these new dummy rounds from SnapPoint USA. These are inert rounds and I chose 9mm 147 grain, and they come in blue and orange. I chose orange. As you can see, they're painted bullets, and then they have their SnapPoint primer, which is also orange, and they come in 20 rounds per box. So I've got some 15 round mags for my Echelon Compact. Load some of these up and get the dry firing today. One reason I reached out to them because I was planning on making my own dummy rounds, and I had a bullet pusher and it sat on my workbench and I just never got around to it. I'm sure the quality of these are going to be way better than I could have done at home. They're actually using a press for these. So let's get these loaded up. Rack's just fine. I'll leave one in the chamber. All right, let's get the dry firing. All right, so I'm just starting off with getting a good grip from the beep, not drawing, just beep to the grip. Can't see anything I'm doing, so not too exciting. Next up, I did some draws to sight picture from the beep. I'm not pulling the trigger, so not drawing to the first shot, just drawing to a good sight picture. Then I worked in some trigger control at speed. So that's starting with my finger inside the trigger guard, but not prepping the trigger. At the beep, I'm pulling the trigger and trying to keep the dot from moving. Then I worked in some transition work where I would start off target, but looking at the center of the target I'm transitioning to. And at the beep, bring the gun to it and pull the trigger. Then I did the reverse of this, where I'm starting aimed in on a target, and at the beep, press the trigger and transition off that target, not to any other specific target. Then I ran some Blake drills, which is on the buzzer, draw and fire 2 shots on each of the 3 targets. And then, I feel like I've said and then a lot, I worked in some reload bill drills. And ended with some more trigger control at speed. This is probably the drill I do most often. And that was about 18 minutes of dry fire. Well, I'd say these dummy rounds work out pretty good. I like how they're orange. I can clearly see that they are my training dummy rounds. I'll probably keep them in these little bins as well to keep them separate from all my real ammo, just to be extra safe. And yeah. So check out SnapPoint USA. They have single packs, and I think they have triple packs, which is what I got. So I can fill at least 3 magazines so I can work on reloads and stuff. So there we go.